I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of Judges, chapter 4, so let's focus on verses 1 through 3. The Israelites again did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, after Ehud had died. So the Lord sold them into the hand of Jabin, the king of Canaan, who reigned in Hatzor. The commander of his forces was Sisera, who lived in Harosheth of the nations. And then the Israelites cried out to the Lord, because Jabin had 900 iron chariots, and he harshly oppressed them for 20 years. Judges chapter 4 is a story of salvation. And today's passage underscores Israel's need for salvation. It says the Israelites again did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. So the Lord sold them to another master, a guy named Jabin, and Jabin assigned them to his taskmaster Sisera, who, with his force of 900 iron chariots, crushed Israel very effectively. And Israel is again in need of both physical deliverance from Jabin and Sisera, and also spiritual deliverance, which is their bondage to sin. We should take note of the cycle of Israel's sin. Again, they did what was evil in the eyes of the Lord. So what does that tell us? Evil equals Baal worship. It equals worldliness in our generation. And it's difficult to be creative in sin because there's so much monotony about sin. Most of it has been done before, so we're doomed to repeat the same sins over and over again with the same results. You know, Satan doesn't have any new tricks. He only has new suckers to tell the old lies to. So sin is boring and sin is routine, as are all habits, void of fresh excitement. And even life in the fast lane quickly becomes an old rut after a few laps. Evil never lends itself to originality. Hence, there are only two outcomes for the sinner: slavery and staleness of life. The line "after Ehud died" alludes to a culture of pressurized piety in Israel. What does that mean? It means that Ehud died and there was no more pressure from the leader to act godly. That's why preachers who yell at their people all the time in order to do this or don't do that, it's not effective in the long run. Because when that person's not there anymore and they're not yelling anymore, well, then the people just go back to doing what they've always wanted to do. Or perhaps were always doing, they just were doing it undercover. Therefore, Israel did evil again when the leader left. Take away the external restraint, and Israel displays her true character, like a lot of Christians' private lives outside of church. And there's something wrong with religion when faithfulness to the Lord depends solely on outside pressures of leadership and culture. Thus, we are Christian only because our surroundings and because of the expectations of people around us. And that scenario of forced morality indicates a lack of genuine internal working of God. Once when I was in New Orleans, I saw a t-shirt in a souvenir shop that said, "Jesus is coming, everyone look busy." And that pretty much defines the faith of many people who attend churches today. True faith is not by coercion. True faith is rooted in your character. That is, who you really are down deep. Your behavior can be one way or another, but who you really are down deep is who you really are. And true character is displayed by how you act and how you think when nobody is watching, knowing all the while that we're never hidden from the watchful eye of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. And so with all that said, when Ehud's influence was taken away, then Israel showed her true colors again. And that's why genuine salvation consists not of giving glowing testimonies about departing from evil. It exists by walking according to the Word. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 19. Nevertheless, the solid foundation of God stands, having this seal: the Lord knows those who are His, and let everyone who names the name of Christ depart from iniquity. Living a consistent godly life is the best apologetic that non-believers need to see. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries exists because of the faithful donations of people like you. If you're not already donating to Groundworks Ministries and yet you're being blessed by this ministry, would you consider donating today? You can do so at our website, groundworksministries.com.